Hello, this is Legends of a Reed, and I'm José Javier Romero.
Yeah, hi, Jose, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to season 5 of Legends of Reed. I'm Joanne Sukumaran, a bassoonist from Singapore. So nice to have you with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here today.
Yeah. How are you doing? Are you currently in Basel?
Yeah, yes, I'm now in Basel, but tomorrow I will move again. I go to Madrid. So,
Yeah, it was so nice that we connected recently via Instagram, of all places. Yeah. How was your summer? Were you in the visiting in the IDRS?
yeah, I was in Flagstaff, so it was amazing. It was the first time that I was in America, and I enjoyed a lot. And then I had 3 4 weeks to disconnect of the season to connect with myself. So yeah, it was a nice summer.
Oh, great. Yeah, I took some time also to rest over the summer break, but happy to be back with a brand new season 5. Yeah, with you as the first guest. Yeah. So to begin with, could you tell us how you started playing the bassoon?
Yeah, I it's a funny story. I don't know. I think that many people that listen to the podcast will know the film Harry Potter. So there's one part of Harry Potter that he go to the shops to choose the stick, and always the person there in the shop he say it's not the magician who choose the stick, it's the stick who choose the magician. So in my experience was like this. I did in Spain we have like kind of examination to enter in the conservatory. So I did the exam. This year I was in the hospital. I had a small problem, so I was there, and I couldn't not choose the instrument. So the conservatory called me like, "Hey, the only instrument free is bassoon."
Uh-huh.
I had 7 8 years, and I told my mom, "Look, I don't know what is a bassoon, so I prefer to wait 1 year more. I will do the examination again, and then maybe I can choose the violin or flute, something like this." No, my mom told me, "Yeah, it's not a problem. We will try next year." So I wait 1 year. I prepared a lot this exam, and then I did, and the only instrument free was bassoon. I always say bassoon choose me, and I'm here with the bassoon. So yeah, this is
I
the
see.
funny story. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I like all this magician world and everything is for me it's amazing. The
Oh,
imagination, the creativity,
yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's quite fairy tale. I think it's
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, okay. So I know that you studied with Diego Cena and Sergio Azzolini.
yeah.
What inspired you to go and study with them?
Yeah. It's it's an easy question. Everybody know Azzolini, for example. No,
Yeah.
when I had 10 years old, I remember that my teacher come to the lesson with a CD, and he put the CD, and it was a CD of Sergio. I think that was, I don't know, Vivaldi concerto. I don't know which one. No, I listened this and I was like, wow, what you can do all this with the bassoon, no? And I opened the eyes, a new world opened, no? A new door. What is this? From this, I was thinking like, oh, I need to go to study with him. I would like to know this bassoonist. And then I was super lucky that when I was doing bachelor, my teacher there was a student of Azzolini. The name is Antonio Lozano, and he was uh, studying with Azzolini in Stuttgart. So he told me like you should go there, listen a lesson with Sergio and everything. So yeah, I decided to take the instrument. I could not speak any word in English, like a few words, disaster. So I arrived to Basel with the instrument, and he opened the door. Yeah, please, you can listen the lesson. You are always welcome to listen and everything. So for me, it was amazing. And then I tried the examination. I was in the waiting list, and I didn't know before about Diego Quena, but Sergio told me like they are not, because this year was only one place free for study with him. So you are the second one, but this guy will accept and will come here to study. So maybe there are an option that you can go to listen Diego Quena that is quite close to here. He was also my student. I decided to go to Freiburg, that is like 1 hour from Basel by train, and to listen some lessons, and it was amazing. He was in the same way, with the character, personal character different, but amazing with the music. So I decided to study my first master with Diego, and then to come to Basel. So yeah, this was the motivation, inspiration, how I met both.
Oh, bravo! You fulfilled your dream and ambition. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What were some of the important lessons you learned from them? Can you maybe give one example or two?
yeah, for sure. With this kind of people that they are always focused, that they really love the music, every lesson was amazing. But I remember one, for example, with Sergio, that I was playing La Monica, the sonata for bassoon, and I was there. He was playing the basso continuo. It was 8, 9 in the night. Nobody in the conservatory, so was the perfect atmosphere to prepare this sonata. And I remember that was like 2 hours and a half playing all the variation, the thema was really amazing. I enter in the world of this music. I feel connect with the composer, with the song. We was trying to find because it's a typical song from the past, no? So have the lyrics, and we was trying to analyze what happened with this lyric, why they put this. This was amazing. And with Diego, I remember one lesson that was also amazing. I was playing Mozart, normal Mozart for audition, and then he stopped me. He said, Javi, many people play Mozart. For sure, you need to play in the style and everything, but you need to play your own version. You cannot copy. You cannot do this or this. Try to find your own version. And after 1 hour of work, I feel connect with Mozart. It was the first time in my life that I really feel like, oh wow, this concert I will play the whole bassoon live, but I feel connect with, and it was really amazing. I remember these 2 moments, but I can be here like days and days telling history of all these lessons because it was really inspired for me.
That's amazing. It sounds like they really tried to empower you to choose your own interpretation, right? To really put
Yeah,
yourself inside
yeah,
the music, right? Yeah.
yeah. I think that this is very important because nowadays it's very easy to copy. We have many references. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Spotify, you can go to many places, listen. But to make your own version is not that easy because you need to know who are you, what do you like, what do you don't like, and then to try to find yourself inside of the style for sure, of the technique should be perfect. But how you create your own version is a very good question that everybody should ask for himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very important thing for all classical musicians, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that you have traveled quite widely. Do you have maybe a favorite concert hall or stage you have played at?
I play with many orchestra in many concert
Yeah.
hall.
Yeah.
I if I need to choose one, it's quite complicated. I think that Kitara concert hall in Japan is one of the best. It's quite similar to Berlin Philharmonie, that is also very nice. And then Concertgebouw for me is the top three. These three is really amazing. Then, for example, I was playing Musikverein in Vienna, and for me was I don't know. You always watch this New Year's concert, everything, and with the cameras, with the TV, the concert hall look like super big, and then you are there, and it's not that big. So for me, it's, oh, what is this? It's not what my mind creates, but it's also amazing concert hall. They are many of
Yeah.
very good concert hall. But if I need to choose three, I think that was these three.
Okay. Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
concert cabal is also one of my favorite halls. I think.
Amazing.
Yeah. I think the colors that you get on the stage are
Yeah.
quite
And also
special.
the
Yeah.
name of the composer is, you
Yes,
feel
that's
a bit
it. Yeah.
responsibility to
Yeah. Yeah.
when you are there. Oh wow, I'm here, and it's all
Yeah.
this. Is,
Yeah. You have to carry on the tradition, right? I think. Yeah.
yeah,
It gives you that feeling of. I think a lot of inspiration. I think. Yeah. I know that you hold the position of second bassoon and contrabassoon with the Swiss Orchestra, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm now it's my fourth season there,
Oh,
so I'm super happy. I have an amazing team there. My on the first bassoon, Daniel Mota is amazing as a musician and as a person. Is I learn every day from him, and all of the woodwind section is amazing. I it's one of my motivation to keep going, to make my best version, because I go there and I feel, wow, these guys are playing amazing. And I need as a second bassoon to give the intonation, to give the stability, everything. So it's hard work, but with this team is just amazing. I enjoy every day. So
okay.
yeah, we have the orchestra start before the COVID. So was in the COVID was difficult period for the orchestra, but after this we grow up and we record some CDs. For example, with Michael Barenboim, we was nominated this year for the Critic in Germany for one of the best recordings with this CD. So we are doing a very nice job. Um, and yeah, we have like 50% of work. We work like 2 weeks, 1 week and a half per month. But I think that is enough for the creativity process, for everything. I need also time to do another things, to really prepare the project and arrive and say, okay, now we are focusing on this music. And also, I think that the conductor, then Alisa, she's doing an amazing work. She tried to discover new Swiss composers and also all pieces that nobody played or nobody recorded. We are doing this. Actually, yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, a recording of one of Clave Concerto that we did last season is now out, and it's really amazing piece. When I was listening the first rehearsal, I was like, wow, but how not orchestra played this piece? It's wonderful. So we are doing this. For sure, it's a lot of trouble because we are the Swiss National Orchestra, we are Swiss orchestra, so we always play Zurich, Berna. We go also to Lausanne, Geneva. So we need to go around Switzerland, but we are lucky that Switzerland is not a very big country. So maximum we travel 2 3 hours. That is okay.
I see. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rehearsals are in Basel, is that right?
No, it's always in Zurich.
Ah,
But
oh, okay.
but we have a very big team in Basel, so we organize. We go always together. So we spend time together also. That is very
Ah,
nice. Yeah,
okay. Okay, so you're always on the go. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, that's great. Yeah, we'll come back to the orchestral life
yeah,
again. Um, so could you tell us what kind of bassoon you play on and what kind of reeds do you play on too? Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Until 1 year ago, I was playing Ekel 7000, and it was a very beautiful instrument. But I think that this year is like 100 year of birthday of this instrument. So the aesthetic of the instrument was a bit different. It was instrument that was created with Stravinsky period, Hindemith was in this period. So it's more like in the way of French bassoon, that is very nice, but to play in a second bassoon in orchestra is a bit complicated because the sound is a bit dire that I really love. I enjoy making some concert, playing with some French chamber music, and it's beautiful. But for my role in the orchestra to play second bassoon and contrabassoon was a bit hard.
Mm.
Last year I was in Pacific Music Festival in Japan. It was amazing. I enjoy a lot with this instrument. And then I give a master class in GDR in Japan double reed. So they had some instrument there, and I said, "Can I try?" So it was one Yamaha, two bells bassoon, and one Pigner superior model. I tried all of them, and then I fell in love of the Yamaha. Was the same way of my instrument, but with a bit more body. You know what I miss with my old instrument for the orchestra. So I was like, no, but this instrument is beautiful. I was playing the team of GDR. Hey, you need to do the massacre. Yes, give me 5 minutes more that I want to play with this instrument. And then I decided to buy it. So now I'm playing with this instrument. And it was funny because all my colleagues in the orchestra told me like, Javi, with the other instrument was amazing for sure. No, you were very flexible and everything. But with this, you have the stability and the sound that we need to mix all together. So they prefer also this instrument. It's quite funny because everybody is no, Eckel, for sure, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
Every instrument is amazing, but I'm more in the way that you need to find what's help to you to do the job and what's give you inspiration to grow up every day. So this instrument, when I play, is wow, what a beautiful sound. I need to practice more the technique. So it's this. It's about this. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this Yamaha. It's the model 811. So it's a bit different than what normally the people are looking for because they look for the other model that is a bit more heavy. But I need that instrument sing with the dark sound. So this is what I find in this instrument, and I'm quite happy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, like how to choose the right instrument for the orchestra, or and use the other one maybe for other kind of work or situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's always we turn back to this: is the instrument who choose the musician? Because I was there in Japan, I was not expecting to buy an instrument, and then was the only one instrument Yamaha that arrived to the shop in the whole year, and nobody bought. So was there like one day before that I arrived, waiting for me. It was like match when I start to play was amazing. So I always say that this choose me. So I believe more, even more in this idea.
It must have caught you by surprise, right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you didn't plan to do this, right?
No, I was there. I enjoyed the festival and everything, and then was arrived like, and it was amazing.
Oh, okay. The last time that we spoke, you were telling me that actually to get the best results, that we need to understand what kind of reed and what kind of cane is suitable for our bassoon, right? I think I was talking to you because I play on a Musman bassoon, and for example, if I were to compare to someone else who was playing Heckel or Pushner, and then you gave me some particular advice, would you mind sharing that with the listeners? Yeah.
For sure. I think that we had a very interesting conversation about this. And every instrument is different. Also in the same brand, you can find for sure they have like kind of way, but it's very different. Every Heckel is different to each other. Musman also. So at the end, you need to understand what do you miss in your instrument. For example, in the Heckel that I was playing, I had a lot of projection, very flexible instrument and everything. So with the reed, I tried to put a bit of resistance. That was what I miss in the instrument. In this new instrument, in the Yamaha, is a bit different. I tried to give this flexibility and a bit of projection because the instrument have the resistance, have the beautiful sound. So I try to go more in the other way. But for this, you need to understand what instrument you have and what do you miss, and try with the reed to find always when you find your balance between instrument and vocal. That is very important. But when you have the stability, the flexibility, and the intonation, then with the reed you need to find the easy way to create the sound. At the end, I always say that the reed is 70% of the sound. So so it's very important to try to understand. And this in now is what I am trying to work to understand every material, to understand the instrument and try to match the material with the instrument. I remember in your case that you told me like you have a Musma and was like you miss a bit this, not the lights and flexibility. The instrument have the body. If I remember good, I recommend you like try to find not super hard material, but hard material more than soft material, but with the flexibility. That is what you need in this instrument. So we was trying to find the way. So at the end is this: when you know what kind of center you have with the instrument and the vocal, then you can try to find something that really help this to this stuff that you miss in the sound. So yeah, this is the a bit the idea. For sure, we can speak about this many hours. Is the work of my life almost. Is I try now to really understand this, the material and how to adapt to every bassoon.
Mm. Yeah, I think this is very personal, very subjective.
Yeah, and every
Yeah.
person is different. Every
Yeah.
lips, for example, I have
Yeah.
this kind of lip, but I have some friends that have bigger lips, so they
Yeah.
give more resistance to the reed with this fatty lips. So
Yeah.
you need to try to find some reeds that help with the flexibility and with the light sound because you are already covering a bit the vibration. So every bassoon player is different and every bassoon is different. I listen that, for example, the same person playing different bassoons and have more or less the same way of sounds because try to find the idea of the sound that happens here. But then also we did one experiment that was different person playing the same instrument, and the sound was totally different with the same rhythm because the physiognomy, everything is different. So that's why I think that many people is reach is very complicated. We have many factors that we need to adapt, but at the end you need to find your balance, your center, and then you can help. You can move also around this comfort zone, but you need to have the stability to know where you are and what are you doing, the reach with the instrument and everything. So yeah, it's a very important topic. This.
Yeah, I think this is important because for the new generation, a lot of people are holding, how do you say, portfolio careers, right? For yourself, also, you play part-time in the orchestra, and then you're also the bassoon reed specialist for Rieger.
Yeah.
So you also have this portfolio career model, which gives you flexibility, but
Yeah.
also this range of skills that you have. So can you explain how you started to work and collaborate with Rieger?
Yeah. 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 Now
Yeah,
it's 4 or 5 years that I work with Rieger,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm quite happy because always we grow up. So yeah, I start when I was in Freiburg, when I did my bachelor in Spain, and I was working like 2 3 summer to save money to buy my first reed machine. And with this, I start to experiment everything. I remember the summer, like 3 months. Okay, perfect. Now it's time for reed. So my family comes like, what are you doing? Read every weekend, every day, like read to try to understand why we spend a lot of time practicing, and then if you have a bad read, you cannot really play good. I was the like 3 summer working on this, and I created a small company in Spain because for sure I was working hard for the machine, so I try to compensate this to selling some reads to friends, to students. So yeah, this was my beginning as a reed maker. For sure, with the help of my teacher, I think that the teacher are very important in the career because they show the way. For sure, you need to walk and you need to do the way, but they show which one is the way, and this is very important to save time to you. So yeah, I start with this, and then I arrived to Freiburg with Diego Kena. He also loved it. He do a lot of experiment. It's amazing. Uh, Diego is a person that, as a bassoon player, as a reed maker, is really amazing. But he really appreciates my work. He was like, but you can do very good reads. And I think that I was one of the students that can copy the system that he developed with everything, details and everything. He was like, wow, look like my reads. So yeah, Freiburg to the factory of Rieger is like 1 hour. So he told me like, hey, you should go there, show what you can do, and explain that maybe you can do something with Dave. So I decided one day, without any word of German, you can imagine, it was my beginning in Fiverr. So I was there and I tried to explain with in English, between English and some words in German that I know, try to explain something, no? They really like this, what I did and everything. And also that I can speak Spanish, Italian. So this helped to the communication with bassoon players. So after this, they told me like, okay, you will come in 1 week, try to prepare a dossier with everything good, and then let's see. I was the whole week studying German, preparing the portfolio, everything. And then I arrived there, and they were super happy that I prepared everything, and I show what I can do. So they offer me this position that I have until now, and I hope that's still going many years because I really love to help bassoon players. And many people come with different ideas to not with the center, and I try to put they in the center and to help with the material, with the machines, for example. And it's amazing when the people really understand this and smile and go with the machine or with the game. Wow, it's what I need. So this is beautiful, and I'm quite happy to work with Rieger. I was, for example, yesterday. I was there in the factory, and also Monday, and we was speaking about the future, next masterclass, new projects, and it's amazing. The communication now, for sure, now I can speak German and everything, and it's even more easy. But they always try to listen to me, to give new ideas, to develop what we have, and one of the most important things for they, also for me, is that the people that buy the stuff is happy what with the stuff that they bought. So we are trying to help people actually, and this is for me is very important. So yeah, now it's 4 or 5 years that we work together. I think that it's more 5 years than four, and I'm super happy.
Yeah, congratulations. That sounds like
Thank you.
very good work. Because for me,
Yeah.
reed making is not my forte. I will tell you that. Yes. Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
rather practice more than make reads. Well,
I
anyway.
understand you. Sometimes can be intense when you don't understand the material. You make 10 reads, then it's not what you need in this moment, and it's like, oh, I spent the Sunday free that I had to prepare this. When you try to understand the material, for example, now when I prepare 10 reads, I know that 9 will work, and the other one maybe it's because the material is not the best. So I cannot do anything to this material to try to make playable the read. But yeah, if I totally understand you in the way like we have many things to do to, but yeah.
Thanks for reaching out to me and proposing this idea that we talk about reeds, because it's after all a show about legends of reeds, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I follow your podcast, no,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
the first season,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, I love to
Yeah.
listen my
Yeah.
colleagues to learn, no, and it was funny because it was like, hey, the name is Legend of Reeds, but nobody speak about Reeds, so it's like, no, we need to do something, and yeah,
Yeah, it's about time. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I have some questions.
yeah,
For example, you have a new read. There's some tests that you do to check, right, if the read is
yeah.
working. For yourself, what kind of test do you do on day one?
Yeah. For example, for me, one of the most important thing in the read, and not many people make attention to this, is when I make the read before to cut the tip. This process for me is very important because you can solve many problems that come later when you go with the knife and everything. But before, you can work a lot. I try to make, for example, I have some reeds here, like very round, to open the space here inside, to really put always in the same position these two, to try to do always more or less the same way. So with my system, that is my center, I always do the same when I build the reed. So this for me is very important. Then I put the reed like one day to dry because it's a live material. So when you put in the water and everything change a bit, so need to move and to find the stability. And after this, I put the color with everything, and then I cut. I play and I try to understand without use the machine, without do anything. I try to play. Sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes you can play. So then I use the machine and then I try. And for me, the most important thing in the first day, is to find the vocal, to find the sound that I want, more or less a stability, and the color of the sound. For sure, the second day, this will change a lot because the material will take some resistance and everything. But for the first day, I try to find that the intonation is okay. That, for example, when I play the E, Do, that don't fall down the sound, and then I try to play a bit, and the second day I work a bit more. So that's a bit. I think that is nothing new. Many people do this, but for me, the important is to find the vocal, more or less the intonation, the stability. But every note you can listen and it's not out of tune, and yeah.
Yeah, keep
And
it
then,
simple, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The next days, I will try to find the flexibility and the articulation. And if this vocal change, the sound, the color of the sound change, then I try to come down again to the center. But yeah, this is what I do. I think that is nothing special. But yeah.
So I know that you also travel and you give masterclasses and workshops, right?
Yeah.
So what are some common questions or problems that people bring to you?
Yeah. There's always one person that, hey, how we can do the perfect read? This is the top question that I really love.
Yeah.
And then many people answer, I need to play Sacre, for example, no? Stravinsky. And how I can prepare the reed to play this. For me, the best reed is the reed that you can play everything. I don't like to change reed to play one. For sure, you can, when you make reeds and you find one that go amazing in the high register, you can reserve for this moment. But I try always to create reeds that I can play everything. The high register, the low register, with good sound, with good intonation. This is important for me. So what I show in the master class in general is that many problems that we have in the reed is because we didn't prepare good the reed before, what I explained before. When you make the reed, all this process before you open the reed is very important, and we don't spend enough time on this. You can solve many problems with this. This I explain a lot in the masterclass, and then we go more in the way that I spoke, to find the match between the material that the people is using and the bassoon of the bassoon player. So yeah, this is what we do in the masterclass, but always they have many questions. Or you can do to make the rhythm more precise in the symmetry, for example, or if I don't have a machine, how I can work. or
Mm-hmm.
I have problem in the low register. I cannot play the articulation very clear in the low register, and sometimes you find that it's not the reed, that the instrument doesn't close
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
But with the reed, we work on this way, or trying to find
Mm-hmm.
the stability in the whole register in intonation. So this is what we do in the masterclass. Some questions that, but there are many questions that people come. Very funny question
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah, yeah.
you can imagine.
Yeah, actually, curiously,
Yeah.
I received some questions as I was preparing for this interview. I was
Okay.
asking some of my friends, some of the local musicians here, and we have a question here from a Singaporean bassoonist,
Yeah.
Jiao. He asked, the first question is, where do you get your canes from?
This question is very easy. I work
Yeah,
with Rieger, so I'm
yeah.
very lucky that when I go to the factory, they have like 10 more than 10,000 kilos there of tube. So I check, this one I like. I I choose 1 kilo for me.
Uh,
So this is for me it's easy. But also I try sometimes Dancy, maybe I'm quite open mind person. I try all the materials. The good thing is I have all my machines, all my setups. So I love to do with tubes because I with the tube I can create the gain that I want for my instrument. So normally I put more material close to the first wire. I have more material there. Sometimes in the tip I have less material, so the inclination is different. So depend the instrument that I am playing, I change a bit my setup, or if it is winter or summer. But with the tubes, I can do this, and it's also nice because when you have more material in behind, you don't depend that much of the quality of the material because you have more quantity of fiber and everything. For me, the most material that I use is Rieger for sure, but I use everything.
mm-hmm.
If the material is more hard, I put less good behind. If it is more flexible, more soft in a way, I put more material. That is always to try the balance. I hope that
Okay.
answered the question of your friend.
Okay. Oh yeah, he has a second question.
Oh,
So his
nice.
second question is more specific. He says that he finds his reeds don't have enough strength to play the low register in loud dynamics. For example, the excerpt from Smetana's The
Yeah.
Buttered Bride, right? He does not speak well. So he has tried using stronger cane, but
Yeah.
making these changes does not really help because the reed is then too strong. Do you have some solutions for this problem? He says, thank you.
So thank you for the question. I'm
Yeah,
happy to
yeah.
answer. Yeah, it's a bit the topic that we was speaking, that the
Yeah,
people
yeah, just
want
now, yeah.
have a
See, a
very
very
specific problem.
specific question, yeah.
For sure, this when we have a reed that don't go very good in the low register, sometimes the balance of the reed is not good because sometimes appear some problems in the high register also when the low register is not working. For sure, without trying the reed, it's a bit more complicated. But what I will say is like the tip is not enough work for the vibration. The beginning of the vibration is not starting. So if he work a lot in the tip of the reed, can be a not compensation behind on the tip. So he need to try to compensate this that is really smooth. And then if this is not a problem, I will work a bit more in the tip to give this easy entrance of the vibration in the and of the sound. This
Ah.
is one thing that he can try. Then also sometimes if you the wire do a lot of pressure, you are doing like this with the reed. It's not easy that the reed speak. If he work a lot with the wires, he can check also this. And yeah, normally this kind of problem with the low register, with the high register, is because of the reed is not compensated. When the reed is smooth,
Mm.
when the for sure the idea was good to try to find a hard material because maybe you have more power and then you have more, but it's not always the solution because then you don't have the flexibility. And if you have a hard material, then it can be even more difficult to try to speak in the low register. So you need this flexibility, but with a bit of tension. So the idea is that he work a bit more the tip, not in the center, more in the corner, but without go to really to the corner, and trying to do a smooth all the part of the
Incline.
reed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
then check the wire.
Check the wire.
Yeah,
Not too tight.
please.
Yeah.
Would be amazing when he tried this to send a video or something like that we can check.
I hope it helps him. Yeah. We have some now funny questions.
Yeah.
For my friend. His name is Mok Chong. He's a bassoonist studying in Weimar.
Okay.
He
Nice.
asks, do you have any reed superstitions? Like you only keep one color of thread?
I don't have any superstition. I use very different colors, but for me it's more to choose the material. For example, when I have one material, I put one type of color. Then if I use another material, or if I change the setup of the machine, I use different color. So it's more like this. I never use yellow. It's not a super. I think that is more because I don't like the color, but can be one because for the artist, yellow is a bit complicated. But I don't have any.
I see.
I do always the same. I use every type of cane. I try to adapt to understand. So I don't use water. For example, many people put the reeds in water. No, I use a bit saliva, but not. I do 2 times, and then for me help because the reed is like a sponge. So if you put in water, then it's the same idea that the sponge. So becoming like this, and then when you put out, do like this. So it's this at the end lose a bit of flexibility. If you do every day, then the reed, the lifetime of the reed is shorter because it's losing the flexibility. So what I do with the saliva is that the reed only take this water when I need. So I do 2 times 3, and then I can play. And then the longer of the reed, of the life of the reed is even more. So I do this system. But I know that many people need to put in water and everything. Almost all bassoonists do it. And yeah, I think that for sure it's important and I understand why. But I do in another way to find the stability with this.
I see. Okay. So I think that kind of answers his other question because he asks you have any quirky or non-standard things you do, like not using water.
I think that one is this, that I don't use water. But you know what? One thing that is very important, and I learned a lot these years working as a reed maker and giving lessons and everything, is many people have different systems. Many people do different stuff. The reason of this is that we have a lot of options with the reeds. We have a lot of parameters and everything. So many people do strange, for us, for our mind, strange things. But we need to keep open mind and try to learn also from these people. Because, for example, I read 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago that somebody put the cane like 5 days in water before to create the reed. For me, at the beginning, it's wow, 5 days in water. And then I was trying to understand why. To learn, only to learn. You have your system, but it's important also that you always learn. What I learned is, okay, it's like a sponge. So if you put 5 days in water, this sponge is inflated, no, in a way. So then after this, lose a bit of flexibility because when you take a lot of kilos and then you lose these kilos, the skin stay a bit. in the
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah.
shape.
Of course, yeah,
So
yeah.
with the reed is a bit the same, for sure, lose some minerals and everything. So then becoming less flexibility, so it's gain more stable in a way. So
That's what
probably
it is. Ah,
probably this guy tried to give stability to the reed doing this. For sure, you can do the same in different ways. There are people that put in one night on is enough, depend how you find your way. But I tried to understand this, and I learned that maybe it's because of that. At the end, it's important that we try to learn from everybody because you always can learn. Also, if you don't like this system, you can learn many stuff. And this is what I try to give also in the masterclass. I don't give a system like you need to do this. No, this is how the read works, more or less. So try to analyze, try to find your way because you need to find your way, but try to learn also from other systems, from other ideas. So I think that nowadays, that with internet and everything is a bit complicated, that many people can give the opinion and everything. I think that it's
yeah.
very important that we try to respect the ideas, to learn, and then to use your system. But I think that we can learn a lot from other bassoonist player. Also, if
Yeah.
it is something that nobody do, why he is doing this? What is the
Mm-hmm.
consequence of this? All these questions always help to grow up and to go out of the comfort zone. And this is very
Mm-hmm.
important as a musician, as a person, as a everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to go out
Yeah.
of the comfort zone and to grow up. So yeah, I we was speaking about these different things that we can do with the reeds, and I remember this moment that I read it. That was wow. But I try to learn.
Good point. Yeah, so we have an open mind that we can learn from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 This is
Yeah.
very important. I learned this from my teachers. They was trying to give the best, but then they try to make me think why they use this and why this
Mm-hmm.
works. So in general, this is a bit my philosophy to try to go out of the comfort zone, to think by yourself and to try to find your way. With this, you only can have a way of authenticity and on your own way. Nowadays with Instagram, with TikTok and everything, we are creating like everybody should be the same,
Yeah, I
same
know.
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but dangerous. You need
Yeah.
to go out to think, and then for sure share is important. Also, this is a topic that I want to speak with you because, for example, with your podcast, you are sharing the experience of the people, of bassoon players, oboe players. So you are
Mm-hmm.
giving something to the bassoon world. It's very connect this with what I'm doing with the masterclass and everything. I try to give something. I was listening in many masterclass. Ah, wow, amazing! Thank you for giving these tips because I had a teacher, but my teacher tried to give the tips for himself. It's not how work everything. It's beautiful to share, to see the people grow up, and with this you can grow up even more. So you
Yeah.
learn from the people and they learn from you. This is wonderful. And the music world is this, is connect people. Music is connect with people, with experience, with histories, and try to tell to the public, to friends. So it's important, and we are losing this in nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a bit critic of the society now, but also connecting with your podcast and with your idea that it's beautiful. And thank
Yeah.
you for inviting me for this because I think that it's important that we can learn from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find our own way, but it's important to learn because
Mm-hmm.
also the people that you don't like, you can learn something.
Mm.
So yeah, this is important
Oh,
for me.
yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I like that because I think the podcast is about having a growth mindset. Yeah, that we can
Yeah,
always improve and learn. However, I do realize that sometimes, yeah, people do keep it to themselves, but it's also their intellectual property, right? Like, they spend so many years of
yeah, for
working on
sure.
a certain, like certain reed makers really have their secrets, right? They have
Yeah,
their trade secrets, yeah.
but
Yeah,
I don't think that is more for sure. Everybody, it's very difficult to arrive to the point that you understand the reed. It's very difficult to arrive to the point that you can play good. To play really good is very hard. It's many years of
Mm-hmm.
practicing.
Yeah, yeah.
So for sure, it's your experience. For me, it was very difficult to arrive at the point that I was here. When I was in Freiburg, I arrived with no money, with not a language. To survive, I was playing in the street with some friends. So for sure, the life can be difficult. But when you arrive to the point that you have something to share, it's beautiful to share. I learned this from, for example, from Azzolini. For me, he is one of the best bassoon in the world. And he always tried to receive people with a smile, taking care of the time that they took to come to listen a lesson, for example, no? So he tried always to give a small lesson of 20 minutes maybe, and the people go with a smile. So it's important, and people that really work a lot to arrive there, they are the first that give everything. So for me, this is very important. It's what I learned from my teacher, what I try to share with the people. For this, I love the work with Rieger because I can share a bit of that. And yeah, now, for example, I'm working in trying to do a PhD about reeds. So I'm really focused on this, on understanding material, many ideas. But once that you do the PhD, you can make your thesis and you can share with
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think that is beautiful, and it's many years for sure working hard. But then this make also the society grow up because somebody that read this maybe have idea that you couldn't not have, or in this moment you
yeah,
didn't have. So can help to you to grow up and grow up the system. And this, if the people can do better read, they appreciate more the work that you did, for sure. And they
yeah.
can create new bassoon players that can appreciate this work. So I think that is very important. This.
I look forward to one day reading your thesis, or
Uh,
maybe you write a book one day. Yeah,
this is another project.
yeah,
I have many
yeah,
projects, so
yeah,
I don't know
yeah. I
if I
think,
will have
yeah,
enough time to do it, but I have many projects and many ideas.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
also this
yeah,
I really love of my life that I can play in orchestra. I can learn. I can use what I learned. I can also learn from my college, and then I have enough time to do another stuff. So this helps for my creativity process. So yeah,
Okay, so I have one last question.
yeah.
So what kind of reed knife do you use? Do you have any recommendations for reed knife?
A sharp reed knife is very
Yeah,
important,
yeah, of
but
course. Yeah,
depends for what, because when we have a sharp reed knife,
yeah,
then you cut the fiber like
yeah,
really good cut. But if you need that the reed is not dire and a dark sound, maybe it's not the
yeah,
best because you are
yeah.
giving more vibration that maybe you don't need. So
Uh-huh.
again, the same topic. You need to find what you really need to in your reed. I have a favorite sharp, a favorite knife. I will show you now. But
Okay.
in general, the tools is to help the process. We
Yeah.
sometimes forget this and we try to find the best, for sure the
Yeah, the
best
best, the
material.
best.
Yeah, the best material help to have the best consequence in a way, no? But maybe the best material for me is not the best for you. Remember this that we was speaking
Yeah,
in,
we tend to
and
go into this rabbit hole, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very important to know what do you need. You know what your
Yeah.
bassoon need and what is the tendency of your reed. For example, I use I have 5 different. I have here 2, but I use 5 different. This one that is Swiss.
Uh-huh.
It's a
Yeah.
bit. I'm in Switzerland, so I should have
Yeah.
one like this,
Yeah.
but it's not
Okay.
very sharp. It's not.
Yeah.
I use these
Yeah.
2 specific details when I don't need too
Yeah.
much vibration, so I work with this.
Okay.
Then I have
Yeah.
one very sharp that I bought in Japan. This one
Uh-huh.
is more like in katana way. So
Okay.
I use this a bit with the idea of Maurice Burke, a oboe player, that he do very
Ah,
fast to cut
okay.
very dry the fiber.
Ah,
With this, that is very sharp. I do like sometimes in the back part when I have a lot of
uh-huh.
material, for example.
At the back. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes
Oh.
in the tip also, but less with this, more with the other. I have one in the
Mm.
middle that is not super sharp and not
Uh-huh.
too less. So it's in the middle, and I
Okay.
use for the tip
Okay.
normally this one.
Okay.
I have different knife for different work, so I try to find this. My favorite is this one, but it's because of a story that I was in Japan and I find this in a shop in the middle of nowhere, and I was trying to. I love the history because give me something special, so make more connect with the tools and everything. But but yeah, I use many different. I also use this for the reed. This is a bit more hard, and this is less. So depend for the work that I need to do. In the tip, I use more this, and then in the back, sometimes I use more this. Or if I use the machine, I try to connect with this. So I have different tools that I use for different work.
Mm-hmm.
It depends what I want to find in the reed or the way that I want to put this reed. So if the reed need more vibration, I work more with the knife. If the reed have less vibration, I use more the other stuff. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so yeah. At the end, it's
Okay.
always the idea. The main idea is to try to know what you need and try to use what you have to find this way. So
Mm-hmm.
this can be the topic of the of the podcast. Also
Oh
sometimes in the
boy.
life.
Be like, I've been talking about the same thing for ages. Okay. So what motivates you to keep going? In Europe, it's very easy to just buy a ready-made reed, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are many good reed makers. This is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like this. Also in Asia, there are many,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I know that here is not that expensive to read. So yeah, at the end, it's easy to find some read that somebody make for you. For me, the motivation to keep going is you can find your own sound. You know, with the if you work with the reed maker, they can create something that adapt to you and everything. But for me, the make read is like my zen moment. It's I Sunday in the night, I'm alone. I put a glass of wine, not too much. It's not all the read are the best read that you create in your life. So a bit. I put a bit of music. Normally I put Vivaldi or some Beethoven, Mahler. I put some music that I really like. And then it's my moment. It's like I disconnect. I put the phone in plane mode. I put the music here, and then I work. So I
Mm.
can connect with myself. It's therapy because I disconnect from the stress of the every day of travel, of meetings, email, sound, practicing. So I create more my bubble and I connect with the instrument. So it's beautiful because it's a live material that we cut to make music. So I try to respect the material to connect with the nature, like really say thank you to this material to make me play, to make wonderful music. So if this was make me continue with this work, that I can find my way, that I can connect with myself, with the instrument. So I think that this is beautiful. And sometimes we need this kind of moment for ourselves. Many people do meditation. I do also. It's nice. You can disconnect from the stress of every day. But for me, part of my meditation is to make reads. I spend my time, and I do everything. Normally I do a lot of read, but I for the Sundays, for example, I try to do only 5, 6 for myself to really connect with the material with myself. So this is my
Mm.
motivation. But in general, I think that I am a person that I love to grow up. I was playing basketball when I was a child, and I really love the Kobe Bryant mentality, Mamba mentality. It's this mentality that you
Ah.
need to work more than not than the rest, because at the end you compare with yourself, but you always can give a bit more of your best version.
Mhm.
So every day I get up, I read a bit of this kind of mentality. I go to the gym, I do some workout, and then I come home and I say, okay, now my day can start.
Uh-huh.
This to try to go out of the limit, it's very nice. And with the rich, I always can go out of the limit because you have many factors that you can always try to experiment, to learn. This is everyday motivation for me to try to make my best version. For sure, there are days that is super hard. When it's rain outside, it's cold, and you need to go to run, it's oof. But these days are the best. The day that you cannot find your motivation, you keep going, and after finish, the feeling is amazing. It's okay. You know, also if my mind was working to not doing, I did. So this mentality I really love, and it's part of the philosophy of my life. I try to
Mhm.
keep going with this, and this helped me a lot in the bad moments when I was playing in the street and everything. This gave me the motivation to, okay, now I'm here, but it's not where I want to be. I want to be there. Okay, keep going. It's part of the process. So for all bassoonists, oboes, and person that is listen this, I I give this. If you keep going, if you try to make your best version every day, at the end you will find a way.
Mhm.
Take time, but you will find.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't arrive the point that you want to be, but you arrive a bit less. But all the process is part of this. You will be always better. Mm. So yeah, this is a bit of
Oh,
it's very
thank you.
philosophical, but it's
Yeah, you gave like the perfect pep talk. I didn't even have to ask you what advice you have for musicians because you did it.
sorry for us for questions that you,
No,
but
it was perfect. It was great. It's great. I
at the
know
end
that.
it's important. This
Yeah,
is
yeah. I
very
think
important.
yeah. It's how do we say chat by the fire,
Yeah,
campfire chat. Yeah. So hopefully someone takes some one or more insights from today's chat here. So we have talked quite a long time now, but I would like to wrap up the interview. Yeah, because
yeah,
don't want to take too much of your time. What are some of your upcoming projects or plans? Do you have some plans
yeah,
coming
yeah.
up?
One of them is this to try to do
Yeah,
the PhD
yeah,
and everything. I
yeah,
am in a good way, but it's a lot of work. And one of the
yeah,
most difficult things is that there are not many people that is really expert. So when you do a PhD, you need a professor that try to help you with this. So
yeah,
this is a bit complicated, but I am on the way. We have a lot of work with Rieger, so we will be next year in Indiana for the IDRS. This weekend I will be in Madrid for the Bassoon conference, an oboe of Bassoon um, Association, an oboe association of Spain.
yeah, yeah,
So this will be in 2 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They can find me there. I will keep going with my orchestra. We have we have a very beautiful season with all my colleagues. Also some chamber music. I have a amazing project with quintet. So we just record a CD. It's now out. I think that was like the last season. So we keep going. We have many concerts, and yeah, we I have a lot of projects, like more with the orchestra, more personal projects, and more with the Riga. So for sure, we can speak about all of this, but I have a lot to do. So I'm quite happy to can do all these projects.
yeah.
And yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is the news. The people can always be in contact. I have the Instagram Kung Fu Bassoon. So also if they have some questions, because today, was the time is, we don't have a lot of time, but for so many people have questions, please write me to me or to Johanna. I am super happy to help.
Yeah.
And in Instagram, social media, you can keep this process and everything. I put sometimes all the stuff.
Yeah, maybe one day you could do like a time lapse of your reed making process.
Yeah, this is also another project that I want to do. The most problem is the time. I have only 24 hours per day. And,
I'm sure you need some time to like just relax and chill out also.
I mean, I love my job, but you need time for yourself. It's normal. But I would love to do something like a workshop or something like this. Maybe we can organize in the future. Let's see. For people that have all these ideas. And it will be nice, actually, because I think that now we have more the idea who I am, what I do with the reeds and everything. And then we can put more like practical part that they can really, in life, we can try all this. So probably we can organize something.
I was thinking as a bonus for the Legends of Reed subscribers, we can extend an open invitation, and who is interested, they can sign up. I will prepare like a Google form.
Nice.
And they can submit their email, and we can find a suitable time with you, and then to do an online webinar.
Nice. I am quite open for that. I do a lot, so it will be nice that we can do one together if the people like. So we invite every bassoon player that to do this.
So I'll make a Google link, so watch out for it, dear Legends of Reed followers. So please sign up in this Google form, and once we get your email, then we can contact you when we have more details finalized.
Nice. And for the people that is not follower, please go and follow, because it's amazing. It's amazing work that you are doing. I know how many times you spend on this and everything, and it's really impressive. So please go. It's only a follow, but for you make a lot, and they can keep going with this process and with this idea of share and learn and grow up. So I think that it's beautiful. So I invite everybody to do it.
Thanks so much for that. Coincidentally, we just hit the 30,000 play mark, so that made me very happy. Thanks so much for your time. I thought it was very inspiring talking to you. I thank you so much for your time and input today, Javier.
Thank you for the invitation, for everything, for being here today. Also, thank you for your time. I think that you are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for everybody that is listening this. And I'm super happy to have this space to share a bit of who I am, that the people can know better what I am doing. And the most important thing is that if everybody learn something from here and can share, I think that is beautiful. So I'm quite happy. And thank you for everything.
Okay, thank you and goodbye.